Hello and welcome back to my channel and to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a mod review. I wanted to go over some different occult mods for The Sims 4. And some of these are also just more general like Halloween mods. Since we are now in September, I thought it would be fun to do something like that. Especially since last year I posted an occult mod review and I kind of wanted to do a follow-up one, and it's been roughly a year since then. So anyway, we're gonna go through 15 different mods. And the first one I wanted to go over, this is more so just like the Halloween side of things rather than occult. But I wanted to go over a few different loading screens that I found. So this is one of the first ones. It comes with two versions. So we have this cute little fall decor, and then we have this cute little like pumpkin farm. So I thought those were really cute. And then I liked this one because it has a little Grim Reaper. So I like this one because also the style is a bit more like simplistic, I feel like. Just cute vibes, I feel like. And next, I'm really big on using like custom cast backgrounds. I typically, most of the year, I use just like a plain solid color, but I also enjoy a good like themed cast background. And this is actually not this specific set, but I've used this creator's other Halloween cast backgrounds and I really like them. So this is one of the, but still we have this cute little vampire study, which will be fitting because I wanted to include some like screenshots and in-game footage of the like 4 Sims that I made for this mod review to kind of show off some in-game stuff. And one of the Sims I made was a vampire. I actually made like four siblings who are they're like all like identical quadruplets or whatever. And each of them is like a different occult, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, so this is the first cast background. The second one is another sort of Halloween inspired one. This one I feel like is a little bit more like versatile. It's like a witch version. And other than like the cauldron and the broom, it's a little bit more like, it doesn't necessarily seem overly Halloween coded, but I really like this one. I think it's very pretty. So if you like a more like nature vibe. And then next, I wanted to go over a few like pose packs. I actually recently posted a mod review where I went over some of my like favorite pose packs that I've been using, some new ones I've downloaded. And so these are some ones that I found specifically for like Halloween. It's like this cool like coming out of a mirror pose and sort of floating. There is also a cast version of this one, and I just thought it was fun. If you guys use poses, that could be fun. And then the second one that I got is another, like this one's more like witch inspired. And so there's some fun poses there. And then next, moving on to more of the like gameplay type mods, there is this mod, which is the Occult Preferences Mod. I don't think I included this mod last time. So, but for this mod, basically with the sort of like likes and dislikes, it adds an ability to give your Sims a preference towards certain types of occults. So your Sims can like or dislike either like humans, ghosts, aliens, spellcasters. So all of that kind of stuff. And so then you will have like custom moodlets with that depending on the type of occults that you're hanging out with. And in the video that in the like with the Sims that I made for this video, like I said, they're all sisters, but each of them are a different occult. So like we have a vampire, a spellcaster, a fairy, and a werewolf. And so each of them, I kind of gave them different preferences of the type of occult they like, which then ends up like will kind of influence how they feel around each other. So some of them will want to be around each other and the others will like feel like if they dislike, let's say like if a vampire dislikes werewolves, they won't want to be around werewolves. And so I feel like that could be fun. Also, one thing I thought I'd mention before we move on to the next mod is this mod actually does require the custom preferences mod. So just make sure to download that. So this will show up in your game. But other than that, it's a pretty simple but fun mod. And then the next one, these are actually some aspirations for related to like occult Sims. So these are for like spellcasters. So this comes with 3 different types of aspirations for your spellcaster Sims, basically for like what type of spellcaster they want to be. So for example, they can try to be a good, bad, or neutral witch/warlock. And depending on which route they take, they'll get like a different reward trait from it. So I thought that was a fun mod, especially to add like new aspirations. And then next, I did include this in my video last year, but I think this is just like a fun mod. So these are like supernatural traits. So they have like different options. So they have like poisoned, possessed, they have teleporter, super speed. Also basically for all of this creator's trait mods, there's an option to have it both as reward traits and also for in cast. You can have either option, which is nice. And I feel like for me, I always like to include some traits. So, because I'm really big on custom traits, I feel like that's always fun. Honestly, I would like to find more like occult related traits, but a lot of the ones I came across seem to be outdated. So it is what it is. But this one is also it's not like a trait mod, but this does make it so that you can have the occult rewards or different occult related things in the reward store. So like, for example, you can use your points to like level up in the reward store, level up in like, for example, your like werewolf rank or your spellcaster rank or your ghost rank, your vampire rank, all that. So I thought that was pretty fun too. And then next, this is a pretty simple mod. Basically, it just adds on to the whole like spellcaster bloodline that they have for Realm of Magic, where you will basically your sim goes from like a weak bloodline to like an ancient bloodline, depending on how long their family has been going on. And so this adds that for vampires, and specifically like whoever turns your sim. So if your sim is automatically in the game and hasn't been like sired by anyone before that has like a more established bloodline, they start off with a weak bloodline. And from testing it in game, it seems like as long as your sim, like for example, the sim that I made, as long as they are a vampire, like you turn them into a vampire, I think they should start off as a weak bloodline, a weak vampiric bloodline. But then I think from there, if your sim has a more established bloodline, then it's like so on and so forth kind of thing. So I like that detail because I think the idea of that for like occult is a fun idea. I like that they have that for spellcasters, and so I think it's cool to kind of carry that on into the other occults as well. And then this next mod is sort of just these next two mods are kind of, I guess, connected. So the first one is a mod that makes it so that all vampire perks are free. So depending on your kind of gameplay, I feel like this is like some people might like this. I personally kind of prefer the challenge, but like let's say you're not looking to like, grind for the points for the vampire, gameplay, which I feel like, some people might prefer just to like more quickly progress. That could be kind of fun. So, and then along with that, there is the no like vampire weaknesses. So like typically when you're leveling up in the vampire rank, you at a certain point have to take a weakness. So this is a mod where basically that like disables that feature, and so you don't have to do that. Once again, I feel like these are kind of optional, or obviously these are all optional, they're mods, but these are kind of like more based on like your kind of gameplay style, because some people of course like that challenge. So, but I figure some people kind of don't want to deal with that, So I thought they'd be fun to include in case that would interest you. And then similar to that, this next mod is hard to like show in game, I feel like, because it's basically just a mod that slows down vampires' thirst. So it's kind of hard for me to show that to you guys. But I thought that this was another mod that, like, once again, if you find that kind of stuff annoying, you don't want to deal with them getting like their thirst going down really fast, that might be something that you'll like as well, depending on your preference. There's definitely a lot of like vampire related mods for this video. I feel like I definitely would like to do maybe a follow-up video eventually, doing like, because I did try to find like spellcaster mods, and actually I would like to do a more general like there's like several mods I wanted to go over that expand on the different occults. If you guys would like to see a follow-up video of that, let me know and I could do that. But a lot of those mods were like really big mods. Like there's an expanded plant sim mod that I wanted to go over. There's like the whole like fairies/witches mod that I wanted to go over, but there's just so many features in that mod that I feel like I would have to just go over it so fast. So I would kind of prefer to make that like a separate video and focus on just a handful of mods in that one. But let me know if you'd like to see that. But anyway, the last mod we're gonna go over is this Better Werewolf Cheats mod. So basically, similar to one of the other mods I was showing, it adds this like menu in game where basically you can access the different werewolf perks. So you just have to turn on testing cheats in game, and then once you shift click on your sim, you'll be able to access all of these different like perks and like temperaments, and you can add them in your game to start off with if that's something that you'd like to do. So, but yeah, you know, just a fun little mod review. I haven't done like a mod sort of like haul, I guess, going over several mods. And well, actually I did the poses mod video the other day, but other than that, it's been a while. I haven't done like a ton of mod reviews lately. So I thought it could be kind of nice, especially getting into Halloween, or I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's literally just the beginning of September, but I am now in the Halloween spirit. It's basically October to me now. I am just fully not in touch with reality. That's fun. But anyway, yeah, so I thought it would be fun to do sort of a more, you know, getting into the fall vibes. So, you know, I thought that could be exciting. And definitely I think I'd like to do maybe like I was mentioning, where with the Sims that I made, I did sort of like each of the Sims were like, they're identical. And actually I was thinking it could be fun to do after I finished making them. I was like, oh, it would have been fun if I did like this for a video where like each Sim is the same, but in a different like occult. And then each Sim has like a different style. And I did think that could be a fun video idea. Let me know if you'd like to see that. But anyway, if you got this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. You'll be able to find all of the links for the mods on my Patreon for free, obviously, as usual. But if you like the video, maybe subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one.